Welcome to the Scalpel of Truth, the podcast providing cutting insight on how to rise to the top in the medical aesthetics industry with your host, Leisa Krause, aka the Bitch and Beautician. That's Leisa with an E, which stands for explicit, because in this surgical suite, she won't sugarcoat the truth, and yes, there will be some seriously salty language, not suitable for sensitive souls, children, nor pets. As a business consultant, Leisa shares the knowledge and lessons she's gleaned over 30 years in the industry. Time spent working directly with patients, managers, and med spa owners alike. Her practice growth strategies are sharp, her stories and wit sharper, and her panache for bringing the spice the sharpest. So buckle up, bichachos. Leisa is about to slice and dice another episode of The Scalpel of Truth.
Hey, bichachos! Welcome back to The Scalpel of Truth, the no bullshit podcast where I cut through the fluff and get straight to the hard, ugly truth about the medical aesthetic industry. I'm your host, Leisa. That's Leisa Krause, aka the Bitch and Beautician, and today we are going over one of my favorite things to talk about. Today, we are talking about the real MVPs of your practice, the most valuable players, and that's your front desk team, or as I like to call them, the face and voice of your entire fucking business. Yet somehow, this is the most overlooked, undertrained, and underpaid role in the game. Like, what in the actual fuck, guys? Here's the legal part I need to read. This podcast is presented solely for educational entertainment purposes. Guys, I'm just your beauty business bitch. I'm not a licensed therapist or an HR representative, nor am I a lawyer. This platform's used to share my experiences with what's made me a successful service provider, a manager, and a business consultant for those who I coach. Got it? Beautiful. I'm going to share a not-so-brief personal anecdote. In previous roles I have had in this industry, I've had the opportunity to walk into hundreds of clinics and view the reception team with harsh judgment, because that's who I am as a person. I've walked into a good handful of clinics where the receptionist was too busy scrolling on her phone to even look up at me, which was a whole ass mood killer. Nothing like having a patient interrupt the receptionist to say, "Hey, hi, I've arrived to spend my luxury dollars at your establishment. Do you mind to give me a fucking minute of your time?" I've walked into clinics where it was a ghost town and I had to wait 5, even 10 minutes and then start yelling, "Hello?" Like, that's a great way to, number one, get robbed. Number two, to look like the operation is half-assed. I've also walked into clinics where the front reception team was visiting and I stood waiting to be acknowledged after they finished their conversation about what they did for the weekend and how an unsightly hickey was accidentally placed on the right side of Stacy's neck, so that's why she wore a turtleneck under her scrub top that day. This is for real. This is real shit. One of the best ones, I was selling filler and Dysport at the time and had went into a clinic to meet a doctor who is an owner injector of the clinic about a promo that we were having. And I took a seat in the patient lounge that was like a fishbowl, which most are. You could clearly see and hear everything perfectly from the front desk. A lady walked in who was enthusiastic and full of excitement to get her lips done. She told the receptionist that she was here for her appointment and then asked the receptionist if she had her lips done. And the receptionist says to this patient, "No way, I don't like needles and I would never want to look overdone."
Oops.
My jaw dropped. I gasped and thought, did I just have a fucking stroke? Like, did that actually just happen? The lady turns around, super deflated energy, and comes and sits in a chair that's kind of like close enough beside me. I let her sit there for a minute, and finally I couldn't stand it. I was like, hi, hello. My name's Leisa. I actually have a meeting with the owner right now, but I've worked in this industry for over 20 years. I've had my own lips done multiple times, and I happen to know the injectors here are fabulous and always make sure their patients feel comfortable, as well as giving natural results. So I want you to feel good about your decision and get excited about your results of getting your lips done. She thanked me somewhat sheepishly, but then we both shared an eye roll over the experience she had with the receptionist. So, of course, when I got my chance to meet with the owner, I made sure to let him know what happened at the front desk, but not before checking to see if that receptionist happened to be his daughter, niece, or any sort of relation, because that's fun. Awkward as fuck. I told him, we often hire folks and then we get too busy to inspect what we expect and shit like that starts to happen. Anyways, I have totally digressed here. So let's talk key setup. Your front desk isn't just about checking people in, it's the welcoming committee. They're the first impression and the final bow on the whole operation. When they can make or break your reputation faster than botched filler, trust me on this one, they have one of the most important jobs in your clinical practice. So, what makes a receptionist top tier talent? Let's go into that. So, let's talk about the essentials. Number one, they need to be polished as fuck. I'm not saying that they need to be rocking Gucci or Prada or Louis Vuitton, but they need to look like they have their shit together. They need to be clean, professional, approachable, high end. This means they're wearing scrubs or dress clothes with a lab coat or a smock. Street clothes look unprofessional, guys. You know my opinion on this. And maybe there's other consultants out there that are going to tell you otherwise. Hey, you know what? Street clothes are totally fine. Be your own self. Rock your own person. Not me. Nope. Nope. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, ma'am. No bacon, no ham. No, ma'am. And two, let's talk street clothes to one higher level. Winter jackets being worn at the front desk. I live in winter wonderland. I am in Western Canada. But I don't give a fuck how cold it is with the door opening and closing. Invest in a heater and put it under the desk. Or get the team warm-up jackets that are sporty and classy and professional looking. And no sunglasses on your head. This is a weird one I see a lot. It's weird. We all know your future's bright, but you don't get to wear shades on your head in the clinic. It looks like shit. The other essential is your front desk team needs to be well-spoken. No bullshit. Other things like pet names. This drives me crazy. When you get called sweetie all the time, especially if the person you're speaking to is actually older than you. Somebody who is younger than me and says, okay, sweetie, you can just take a seat. It comes off as condescending and unprofessional. It's brutal. This is your concierge of confidence. That's what your reception team needs to believe they are. Because they are. They are the concierge of confidence. They also need to be service savvy. They need to know their shit when it comes to services like the back of their own hand. They need to be trained in sales skills. For those who don't care for the word sales, and it gives you, for some reason, brain damage, think of it as solutions. Just replace the word. Every time it's sales, think solutions. That'll help you. The reception team are not just a bunch of order takers. They are revenue generating business builders. They need to be the first and last impression specialists of your team. They need to be hospitality trained, warm smiles, killer eye contact, luxury language, the ability to handle a Karen without flinching. You need to train the team to the tits in this area. If you need help with this, I want you to reach out. I want you to think of me as your own personal Mrs. Doubtfire. Help is on the way, dear. Help is on the way. That's me. This old bitch will help you. Trust me. I love this shit. I want you to be top tier. All right, let's punch this one out. Let's go over the don'ts. Don't hire someone who's shy as fuck. Your front desk can't be excruciatingly awkward. If they crumble under pressure, they are not the right fit, no matter how sweet they are, or if they're related to you, or their resume looks great. They cannot be someone who's painfully shy. This will not work. Don't cheap out either. If you are looking at the don'ts, don't pay them bananas because all you'll get is monkeys. You want to invest in this role. Pay or you will lose patience and revenue. Another thing that's a don't ignore their vibe. No one wants to walk into a med spa where the receptionist looks like they hate their life. Or worse, they hate your life. They need to be upbeat, look the part. You can teach anyone about our industry very easily with exceptional onboarding. You need to find someone who has worked in hospitality, who someone is a server, someone who works at a high-end hotel, maybe a hairstylist, someone who can carry on an intelligent conversation with great customer service skills, someone who's got a spunky, punchy attitude towards helping people. You can train easy on our industry. Okay, let's talk spotting unicorns. You got to hire just right for the fit. This is the Goldilocks approach, okay? I want you to think of the three bears. I don't want you to hire someone who's too extra and too bubbly to the point that they're fake or super annoying. But you also don't want to hire someone who's cold as the Siberian winter. You're looking for the just right porridge personality. Some interview tips. Ask questions that reveal how they handle pressure, multitasking, and dealing with difficult people and situations. Look for red flags. If they can't answer what your clinic does in the interview, they're just there for the paycheck. They didn't do any homework. Another thing I hate is when you're interviewing someone and they butt in, or one of their first questions is, so do I get free products and services? That's going to tell you a fuck ton about what you need to know about how they're going to be as an employee. They are there for the perks, and that's about it. They're not there for the people or the patients. They're there for the perks. Now let's talk about training your unicorn. Finding them's only half the battle. Once you've got them, you need to polish that gem. Sales training, hospitality workshops, service education. Your receptionist should be the absolute tits as a professional. The absolute best of the best. That's who's representing your face of your practice while you are in the back seeing patients. This is something that I have ranted about probably for the last 15 years. My analogy is this. I cannot handle when clinic owners invest like $150K in a laser but won't drop a dime on training their receptionists. It's the equivalent of, I have used this analogy literally 15 plus years. It is the equivalent of buying a Ferrari and then putting a 16-year-old with a learner's permit behind the wheel. They are ready to wrap that juicy Ferrari around a fucking pole. Would you do that to your business? No. So while you're spending money on all this expensive equipment, and I'm not saying you don't need it, you need it, depending on what time of the year. If you're going to buy a laser, please reach out. I have absolutely no incentive to sway you either way. I get no kickbacks, jack shit. I will tell you what time you should purchase equipment, when you should bring on a new product line, when you should bring on a new team member. Reach out. I will help you with this. All right, on to the receptionist role in clinic culture. I want to break it down for you. Your receptionist sets the tone for your entire clinic. They are the gatekeepers of good vibes and your secret weapon when it comes to patient retention. So let's look at their hidden powers, okay? First impressions. Patients decide in seconds, literally seconds, if they feel comfortable and valued upon entrance of your med spa. There are also lasting impressions we should talk about. The way they say goodbye determines if that patient is going to refer or if they're going to bounce to your competitor. You want to make sure that they have rebooked. So a lasting impression. They are the bow on the entire experience. Let's talk revenue impact. Your receptionist, and now I hate the word upsell, cross-sell. Some stupid idiots out there say downsell. Like that's not even a thing. Downselling? No. Cross-selling? Fine. Upselling? Fine. I don't care for those words. I prefer these. So the receptionist can recommend, suggest, upgrade, propose, pair with, feature, encourage to purchase a product or a service, and book appointments like a fucking boss if they're given the right tools to succeed. Again, this comes back to training, guys. All right, my general audience, that's where I love you and leave you for today. But for my VIP members, I'm talking deeper shit on this. You get the inside scoop. We're going to be talking specific interview questions to weed out mediocre candidates. We're going to be talking scripts for tricky scenarios like handling cancellations and turning just browsing patients into booking services, and how to build killer bonus structures that keep your front desk team hungry and happy. So if you are already in Club VIP Bachacho, I am going to see you soon. If you are not signed up yet at thescalpeloftruth.com and you are not a VIP club member yet, go sign up to scalpeloftruth.com. We're going to be talking some great pearls, great tips in the after party. Your clinic and your bottom line are going to thank you. Thank you once again for sharing this podcast, choosing to spend your time with me, sharing it with your staff, industry colleagues, all of the love that you give me on social media. Please don't forget to tag me. I would love to give you a shout out back. If you are in need of digital assets for your clinic, I want you to head over to thebitchandbeautician.com. You can snag the Bitchin' Event Guide or the Bitchin' Templates package. If you purchase them together, you're going to save some money. Let me close. Let's put a bow on this bitch, okay? Front desk isn't just a chair to fill, it's the foundation of your business. Don't half-ass this role. I want you to go all in, because the best practices out there, they don't just have receptionists. They have a welcoming committee that is polished, professional, knowledgeable, and absolutely fucking unstoppable. Let's make sure that's you in 2025. I want you to stay sharp, stay focused and fabulous, and until next time, keep slaying this game that we absolutely love. And my VIPs, I'll see you soon.
Go away, just see things stay the way they are.